Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week, where it's been the first episode, obviously, in a couple of weeks. International break, soul destroying us over that 2 weeks, and we finally obviously got Rangers back on the Saturday. We'll be looking at the Hibs game, obviously, which was a good performance. I thought largely, I thought we dominated the game and obviously got the victory, which was the most important thing through there, and then going on to which the title explains. It's the Old Firm game on Sunday, which is absolutely huge. I mean, the magnitude for this one is kind of off the scale. I know it's kind of a cliche thing to say every time the fixture comes around, but this one is it's massive for the point of the season we're in and the kind of points total. And um, aye, we'll talk about our teams and thoughts going into this one, obviously after the weekend's games. But if you do enjoy the podcast, please like, subscribe, and share. It helps us out very much. And first, obviously, we'll go on to that Hibs game, starting that picture there with James Tavernier. Obviously, personal accolade for himself, becoming the highest scoring defender in British football history, which is quite mad when you think about it. Guy signing for Wigan in 2015, became Rangers captain and was able to do that. Aye, massive, massive respect to Tavernier for that one and for scoring the goal when he did after such a poor penalty that was missed. I think this was kind of the typical coming back to football after the international break kind of game. I thought we started with a lot of high energy, try to press Hibs into mistakes. Obviously, we know Hibs are going to play out for the back and try and cause them problems that way. I felt that we had high energy in the first sort of 10, 15 minutes. Nothing was really kind of coming off for us, no kind of clear cut chances. We obviously got that. I think we had a flurry of corners, about five, six, seven corners in the first 10, 15 minutes, and then we eventually got a breakthrough one. John Souttar goes up for the header, gets elbowed in the face, VAR, penalty. Obviously, all we like to debate in Scotland is penalties for some reason, and we never actually talk about the football on the pitch. So, for you, penalty or not?
I'd say a penalty, mate. It was him right in the face, man.
I think, again, on the basis of what you've seen given for penalties this season, the kind of soft variety ones, and even one that Celtic got against Hibs, where Alistair Johnson went up for a header and basically just clashed heads with the guy and get a penalty for it. I think if you're looking at that, for instance, it's a penalty. I think he's obviously kind of went in with his elbow to Souttar's face. It's kind of violent contact. I think it is kind of harsh on Hibs because it's a corner. There's going to be players sort
Yeah,
of dueling and try to gain leverage over the Rangers players to defend. But I think on the basis of what you're getting penalties for in Scotland, I think it meets all the criteria.
I was absolutely, and obviously taking hang as well. The boy, obviously watching the ball as well. But I mean, you look at it, get on it, but the refereeing performance is just absolutely diabolical. But no, for me, it's a penalty, mate, all day
No.
long.
And then obviously Tavernier steps up, put it down the middle, misses the penalty. Scott Wright
Aye,
scores the rebound, and you're right. Thank fuck for that. It was the same situation as Hibs the last time we played them, penalty miss, rebound scored, but encroachment into the box decided that we can't have that goal either. I thought that was really really tight. I didn't really see anything wrong with Scott Wright kind of gaining a attacking advantage over any Hibs player running into the box there. I thought for me that should have been given as a fair goal. I think there's so much discourse around this being was it a retake of the penalty? Obviously he's hit the penalty, he's missed, then we've scored. I don't really know the full rules and what actually was meant to happen there, but I don't think David Dickinson knew anything about
I don't think he
refereeing
knew
that
rules
full
at
game
all.
anyway.
Aye.
So obviously unfortunate not to even get a retake of the penalty or get that goal at that point, but good kind of reaction for the team to then get that all important first goal. It was an absolute stunner for Tavernier, to be honest. He hit it perfectly. Too much power for the Hibs defender on the line. It was 1-0. And for then we kind of have to what we do as a team. We kind of do huff and puff. We don't take chances when we need to get that second goal and be kind of comfortable in the game. And Hibs, fair play to Hibs, by the way. I think Hibs, honestly, one of the better footballing teams in the league. I think they actually try to play football against you and they actually try to cause you problems, and they've got the players to do that. Obviously, Ellie Ewan, we've known over the past couple of seasons, can be a bit of a pain to play against with his pace. But adding Maizen Malida into that as well, obviously, who got the goal. I think on our part though, the breakaway was too easy. Too many gaps left in the full team. Lundstrom couldn't keep up with Johan. And then it was a pass into the box. Malida, he's kind of just free to do what he likes. It felt like he had so much time on the ball and he just slots it by Jack Butland. Annoying as well because that was kind of the first chance Hibs had and we're being susceptible to that at home, just giving up a golden opportunity for a team to get right back into it.
I mean, there's countless errors in obviously that goal, obviously Tavernier as well. Maybe not tracking back as much, just having a wee light jog. But I mean, Goldson came sliding in and all. I don't know why he's doing that. And obviously he's selling some sort as well at the back here. But no, I don't really think Hibs caused as much problems. He saves that kind of game after the international break. I just felt we were comfortable and only two real bits of quality were three bits of quality were the goals.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't feel that Hibs caused us any problems at all, obviously. The referee had a bit of a mare, but apart from that, man, I thought it was pretty straightforward.
Nah, I think every time you do play Hibs, I think Hibs do give it a go a bit. As I say, I respect Hibs for their kind of game plan against the bigger teams in the league and try and actually play football against them. I just think it's a refreshing kind of take and where
Well,
Hibs would maybe come to Ibrox and try and obviously they didn't get too many chances, but try and sit back and try and just hit long balls up to their players. I thought they even in when we went into the second half, I thought there was before we got that third goal, there was a wee bit of anxiety in the stadium, kind of when they were going forward, but they couldn't obviously create too much of it.
no, I mean the best thing Hibs really did for the entirety of the game was obviously when they decided we're going to wallop each other with the ball. Absolutely
It's probably one of the
sensational.
best clips I think I've ever seen, to
Aye.
be honest.
Aye.
That is the highlight for Hibs, aye.
Top quality. Speaking of top quality though, Rabbi Matondo's goal, absolutely sensational. And then obviously going into the weekend, and we're hoping for more of that, but absolutely sensational goal for Rabbi.
No, it was at a good time as well, and so was Cyril Desser's goal. I think after we got that kind of long added time. I think it was 7 minutes we got after the VAR stoppages and stuff. We had to then ramp up the pressure a bit again. I thought Cantwell was pivotal for the goal. He kind of when he was playing in the first half, he kind of took too many touches in the ball, and he was trying to kind of dance around players rather than just take the shot or the pass or make the cross in. But for the second goal, I mean, he done everything perfectly. He got by the player, and he didn't even look up. He just had it. Dessers was there off the bar, and Cyril Dessers again continues that streaky where he just scores the hardest goals. He kind of just flashed right to him, and he obviously put it in the net, which was a huge relief. Going in 2-1 up at half time was more than we deserved, I feel, and good reaction again for the team to having a setback. But then, as we kind of mentioned, going into that second half, Hibs did have a couple of spells where they were maybe ramping up the pressure a wee bit, and we kind of let them into it. I felt like the game was just it was stretched. It was kind of the crowd were getting a bit anxious and not getting a third goal. We had a couple of chances. The one I remember is Lundstrom. Where I think he had it off Dessers. It looked like it was going in. Dessers had a golden opportunity. He just slot it in the back of the net. He puts it by the post. Um, and then obviously, as you say, we get that all important goal for Rabbi Matondo. It felt the whole stadium kind of singing in unison, kind of lifted the team a wee bit. I felt for when they needed it, and Matondo creates the space really well, and just we've seen him do that a couple of times this season, where it's not maybe came off every time, but he's got that in his locker where he can kind of shoot for distance, and obviously this one went in, and everybody around the stadium was obviously buzzing for that because it seals the 3 points at the end of the day. But going through the rest of the team, I mean, obviously Tavernier gets the goal, he misses a penalty. I think what he was saying as well, he had an operation, getting teeth out and all that, and didn't have the best diet throughout the week and stuff. So he was eating limited
Same.
foods, and to kind of play 90 minutes again is just shows what he's all about, I guess.
I mean, when you're eating the five guys, it is a bit unhealthy. So, no, yeah, again, just as you say, phenomenal for him also getting that record and going to add to it a lot more goals. I know he's was right behind Sergio Ramos in terms of
Nah, I
stats.
don't know who's his next one to go for. I know I think he still needs like over 100 goals to get top spot, which is going to be a
That's
hard
it, you're
ask.
gonna be
But
shocked. You're going to be shocked if he gets it, but obviously, as I say, I don't think he also plays his part, obviously, for Hibs' goal, but apart from that, I thought it was, yeah, again, fantastic. You look at Goldson Suter as well. I mean, didn't really have much obviously to say apart for that goal, and then obviously Barisic there went off with a wee what was that, a wee hamstring there, or what was that?
Nah, I don't think there's anything. I think it was just he's not played. I don't
Oh,
think
it's
it's, and I
seems
think
like
he when he get booked as well. I don't think he wanted to take any risks because he doesn't know if Yilmaz is going to be available. Barisic
well,
might be the only player he can play there. So
I'm playing MD before I even think about putting Barisic on that part for the weekend there. So I mean, aye, leave it at that, man.
no, no, I agree. I thought Barisic again. He just I don't know. He's a player completely short of any confidence. You can't play him in the biggest game of the season for me either. I thought Sterling came on and he just shown that he was better in that position anyway if we need him. But I think Philippe Clement was kind of optimistic. He having Ridvan Yilmaz back. I think he'll do everything in his power to get him back, even if it is for half a game or something. I think we're going to be obviously a better team with him there. So I think hopefully he'll be involved. In the middle of the park, I thought Lundstrom looked really leggy in this game. I thought there was a few times where he was just trying to maybe force things to happen. He was getting caught with the ball a few times, few overhit passes that was then leading him into lunging for the ball. He did have a nice move in the second half where he kind of just broke through the Hibs team basically and got us on the attack. But I wouldn't say it was one of Lundstrom's best games ever. Um, Even for the tracking back of the runner for the Hibs goal, I think he looked a bit leggy as well. Diomande, I think he kind of oozes class when he's got the ball in tight situations. He really kind of relieves the pressure and gets us moving again. Again, I didn't think it was one of his best ever games he's played for us, but I thought the two of them were fine in midfield. It's hard to kind of um, talk about the defensive side of the game when Hibs aren't really giving you too much to deal with. They're playing the ball around about nice and they're spreading the play, but they're not really um trying to hurt you at all. But I thought the two of them in midfield were fine. I thought Scott Wright actually had a decent first half. He had a decent first half. I thought he was using what he does well, which is get the ball and run.
Run.
It's always when it gets to that second part, though, it's just he can't get that ball through or can't find the right shot. He was unlucky with a chance that he had early on in the game. It just went by the post. He was obviously really unlucky with not getting the goal, which I thought should have obviously stood. Um, but we've got players in that position coming back now. I don't expect to see Wright starting too many games now. I think he'll be on the bench for the foreseeable, and it's no fault to his own. I just McCausland, Seamer, Matondo, all these guys should be playing over Wright. Cantwell, I thought again he had his moments. He's obviously come back for injury, still nursing the minutes, but good assist for the goal, and it'll need to be a top performance for him on Sunday. The levels will need to go up drastically. I thought Fabio Silva kind of had a poor game. I thought he was kind of didn't really
Wasn't really
get
in it.
too much. He wasn't really in the game. And Cyril Dessers, I thought he had a decent game up front. Obviously took his goal well. Probably should have had another one, but I thought his all-round play was pretty good. And then
Uh,
obviously Matondo coming on as well, and Abdullah Sima coming back. It was just an all-round kind of good day for everybody.
I thought this was obviously man of the match. So it was the best player on the park for us, really. But I was just one of the games I say, mate, where obviously she said it's international break for no, obviously it happens, but really, I think it should be done away with now. But I just think one of the games you were obviously we wanted 3 points, we got the 3 points, but I think everybody's eyes are all on this coming Sunday, man.
Nah, and that's a good segue into the game on Sunday, which is obviously going to be a huge one. I mean, Celtic sitting obviously 1 point top of the table now, Rangers in second with that game in hand against Dundee. Going into this one, Rangers can then go ahead again and then go even further ahead if they win the game in Dundee. On the flip side, it could be a draw. Celtic could then take the advantage. So it's huge for both teams to gain a real upper hand in this title race. I think this is where the title will be won and lost in these games. I think whoever kind of gets the advantage in this game will have one hand on the trophy. To be honest with you, I think looking at the games that we've got to play before the split, Ross County, Dundee, I think Celtic have got, can't even remember off the top of my head who they've got. I think they might have, was it No, St Mirren, sorry, at home
And
after us, so before the split. So it's huge. Obviously, Celtic going to be having Cal McGregor probably back in as well. They'll have a kind of full strength team. Obviously, we are still kind of trying to get players back, but we're in a much better position than we were probably going into the game last time we played them. I mean, Sterling playing centre mid at that point. Obviously, we were kind of depleted in areas, but aye, there's no kind of getting away from how huge this game is. It's at Ibrox as well. The last
Mm.
game at Ibrox was just an absolute disaster in terms of on the pitch for the players, in the dugout for the managers with the setup. It was a disaster. But I feel like we've got the right players now playing. We've got the right manager now to take the game to Celtic and hopefully blow them away at home with an Ibrox crowd that will be behind the team is all the way really. It's obviously a week out till that game really, but it just if the Old Firm week feels
That's
different. It's just the nerves are already kind of starting to build.
I mean, it already starts as you say. I do feel like whoever wins this Old Firm probably goes on to win the league for me. I mean, a massive game for obviously Cantwell. I'm thinking Cantwell for the last game as well. I need a big game for him. I need obviously a big game for all the other players as well that we've brought in. But I'm looking at Cantwell and I think this could be a game where really could turn it up a level and actually the decent you're on about Sterling as well. The last time I thought Sterling was
Probably one of the best players on the
fantastic.
pitch.
Fantastic. I mean, it's one of these games now where I feel like just for the minute go, just go for it. There's no just leave it all
Nah,
there. Go for it. You obviously, as you say, get the game in hand and what have you, but I mean, this is your chance to really do any damage. I don't expect Celtic to drop any real points. Apart from obviously,
this is your chance really to do what Celtic would do to us. If they were at
exactly.
Celtic Park, they would do everything in their power to beat us.
Yes,
And what the annoying thing is in this fixture over the past couple of seasons is that's what they've done. They've took care of these games and really gained an upper hand, and we've had no answer really to get back into any sort of title race because I mean they're winning the derby games, they're getting ahead of us and getting that leverage on top of us, and I feel like that kind of mental side does play into this game. I don't want us to kind of try and force things to happen. I just want us to play the game that we've played under Philippe Clement since he's came in. Just play football. Don't worry about
that's
the kind of situation at hand. Just kind of obviously Celtic are
focus
a
on
good team,
yourself.
but
That's it. It's what I honestly what the manager will say also for the last time as well is like just focus on our game. Don't get into the whole. You know what it gets sometimes. Obviously, get the silly tackles and what have you. Don't get involved in them. You seen Cantwell last time he got involved in. Just keep your head focused, play the game, and go out and do the job. And that's all we need to do.
mhm.
As I say, it's going to be difficult. But I think obviously with the way we are now, the fans obviously, as you say, for the last game there, sort of when we started to sing, cheer, what have you, we picked the performance up. So I'm hoping that we can do the business, mate. But just
Nah.
tranquilo, as we would say. I don't even know what that, but we're tranquilo.
I think it's a huge kind of benefit to us that this game's at Ibrox as well. I think
Uh,
it's a huge advantage having a full stadium of your own fans kind of behind us. In that sense, I think it will
I
be.
will. I mean, we said that the last time, but didn't we? Do you know what I mean? And
That was until Michael Beale sat off Celtic.
aye, aye, exactly. But I mean, this time, as I say, it is different. It's 100% different. As you said, we've got a proper manager in the dugout now. Everything's a killer, mate. As I say, it's just about going out there, putting the performance in, just get the job done, and obviously, as we said, get the game in hand and what have you. But I really just feel like it's never, never. Um,
Nah, no, this is your opportunity to go and win an important Old Firm game in the league for the first time since what Philippe Hollander scored that header. Like when you think about that
it's
like,
amazing when
it's just it's mental the kind of games that have passed us by as a team that we've not been able to deliver on, and we've not been able to really gain an upper hand anywhere. And Celtic have had our numbers in these games for the past couple of seasons now. So it's our time to now stamp our authority in this fixture and start winning meaningful games in it, because it's all fine and well winning the games when your rivals are winning the league, but when you're
uh,
trying to win the league and it's neck and neck up the top of the table, you need to show who's got that fight in you. I think looking at the team as well, I think it's a difficult one to pick. I think there's so much choice in the selection that Clement could go with. I think obviously the four first ones there, Butland, Tavernier, Goldson, Suter will stay Yilmaz is going to be a question mark. Is he fit? Does he throw them straight in? I don't think you can start Borna Barisic in this fixture. I think if anything, Dujon Sterling drops into left back and you play him there. I don't think for a second Borna Barisic can play in this game. I think the two in midfield are fine. They've been the kind of preferred two. I think if you don't play Sterling out on the right hand side, Matondo probably comes into that. I think this whatever filter I'm using on here didn't have Sema in it. It didn't have what I was actually really looking to go for. I think I don't know if he would start with this, but Matondo and Sema on both wings with Dessers obviously
Mm.
up front. I think the pace in the attack could really help us. I think Silva's more of that technical winger where maybe I don't know how the game goes, obviously, but if you've got a lead in the game, you bring him on to kind of slow things down going forward rather than Matondo coming on. He's just trying to fucking obviously blitz through
That's
the team. I think Matondo would maybe be my preferred kind of starter here, actually thinking about it now. But I don't think there's a world where you can leave Dujon Sterling out of this game either. So I think finding him somewhere to play is also key. And Cyril Dessers is he's going to lead the line. He's going to need to put on his best performance he's ever
yes.
put on for Rangers in his life. He's going to need to take every single chance that he gets. He's going to need to try and bully Celtic's defence as much as he can. And I think that's maybe one of Dessers' best traits is the running he does up there and the kind of chasing he does of the defenders. We've seen him do it at Celtic Park. We've seen him rob the ball, but he cannot
Very good.
whimper in front of goal now. He needs to just get the
That.
shot away and score. So relying on Cyril Dessers is also it's a massive task for anybody to do. But and as you kind of mentioned as well, Todd Cantwell needs to
I
needs
need
to
a big
have one of
game.
his big
Need this.
games.
I need a big game for Todd here. I mean, obviously, you say Dessers probably does start Sterling. I mean, getting him in, I would he's definitely playing if Yilmaz isn't fully fit for it. Barisic comes nowhere near this team. If I see Barisic shot, I'm out the window, man. I can't do it. I can't do another old firm with Barisic starting. I don't really see. I don't think Clement's the kind of guy where he's going to maybe throw the players that have been out for such a long time straight into the fold. I think probably you'll see Seaman that come into the game maybe throughout the game. I
He might
mean,
try and kind of use Sema through the middle as he did this. I think
well,
looking at what he did in Saturday, he used Sterling and Barisic at left back. He used Sema through the middle. He used Matondo on the left hand side, McCausland, Lawrence. He kind of gave everybody an opportunity to kind of play to see what's kind of best suited.
well, there's probably bring somebody up as well who also isn't involved, but Kemar Roofe as well. Don't know what's going on with him, but I mean, you would surely think Kemar
Well,
Roofe's
I
not.
think that was. I don't understand what is Kemar Roof's fitness regime
Uh,
because I mean he's been back for what 3 or 4 games where he's came on for the last 10, 15 minutes or so, and he's still not able to play for more than a half. What's the situation there?
if there's
I
ever a
I, I
half for
don't
him to
think you
play in, but
can. Eh?
if there's ever a half for him to play in, it's this game.
I know he has to be on the bench. I don't care if it's for
I
five
mean,
minutes or not. I would rather Kemar Roof is on the bench than he isn't. I think I don't see any world where he's not on the bench. I think it would have been good to give him some minutes in the game against Hibs to try and build that up again. But I think he'll be training all week. I don't see Clement not selecting him on the bench personally. I think he's always a good option, even to come on for the last 10, 15 minutes, depending on kind of what the situation is with the game. Um, but I think we've got the players there. We've had the form. I think all the players know their roles and they know the situation that we're in. It's at Ibrox. You've got a different manager now and everybody believes in it. Surely just has to hopefully be hopefully a Rangers victory. Like it can't be any other way.
I'm
We need to
no.
go out there and win the game. I don't think a draw really
It's
does
on the
us any
board,
good
mate.
either.
It's on it. It's the manager can say all he wants, and obviously we can hang me, but it's on the players' end of the day. They've got to turn up for the full 90 minutes, not just for a half. The full 90 minutes, you've got to be there. As I say, I'm hoping Carmel can have a fantastic game. I'm really looking at him this kind of game as well. I think Silver as well. I know you're not about the pace. I'm also hitting
Nah,
the
that's obviously why I was talking about Abdallah Sima. I think would you rather start Sima for 60 minutes or would you rather bring him on?
I'd rather bring him on. I don't think Clement's got the guy that's going to throw him in. Previously, I think managers would probably just throw him in, but I don't think our manager's going to do that because he knows we have obviously the game with Dundee as well. He knows there's still games after this as
And
well,
we
so I
need to
don't
have him fit for the
fit
rest of the
for the
season
next
now.
game. So I don't see the manager trucking him in for the start. maybe second half, what have you. But I
All kind of
definitely.
depending on how that game goes. And then Celtic's team, obviously, they've got plenty of players coming back into the fold as well. We've seen yesterday, obviously, Hatate, who wasn't on this filter either, who will probably start the game. By the way, I don't expect Paulo Bernardo to start, but
It's just
Hatate obviously will start this game. And I think Celtic are looking much stronger than they did a couple of weeks ago. They've got Carter Vickers obviously back in now.
Mhm.
O'Reilly, McGregor, Hatate will be their best three in midfield. I think it's a really hard midfield to deal with because they've all got a bit of something about them going forward, kind of competing and also going back the way. And Nicholas Kuhn's came onto a bit of a game in the past couple of weeks for Celtic. Dyson Maida always starts. He's obviously an engine in that kind of left hand side. Doesn't really have the kind of um, the whole football ability, but he's somebody who's ran Tavernier ragged on more than one occasion anyway. And obviously Kyogo, who notoriously in this game over the past year or so has just been an absolute nightmare to play against for Connor Goldson and John Souttar or whoever's played next to him. So I think looking at the Celtic team as well, they've got quality in there. They play a different way from what Ange did. They kind of looking at them against Livingston yesterday, they're looking for balls over the top into the wide areas for Kuhn and Maeda to run onto. Um, they play a lot of sort of tricky passes around the edge of the box to try and get O'Reilly, Hatate, even Bernardo involved. McGregor will obviously be a big sort of bonus for him if he makes it as well, which probably you're expecting me. But I think this is probably too near enough as strong as it can be. Rangers and Celtic teams kind of going for it. Um, and I think Celtic have obviously, as I say, got the kind of mental edge in these games before, and it's time for us to kind of take that back for us. But there's no secret. Obviously, Celtic are obviously a good side as well that they're going to have their moments in the game. They're going to try and um, do anything to win the game as much as we are. But I think something else that I forgot to mention actually is the kind of panic in possession in these games. It's really pissed me off over the past few games. I mean, even at Celtic Park, I mean, we're getting the ball and we're just booting it up the park and we're just panicking on the ball. Like just seriously, just keep the ball on the deck. Just kind of try and play. I don't think that kind of paranoia helps anybody, even in the stands, to on the pitch.
No, it doesn't do well for me. That's why I'm done. You know what I mean? When it comes to hair, like, thanks very much. But no, I mean, don't be doing that. As I say, just let's play the game. Do you know what I mean? Let's just play our game, go out there, and as you say, Celtic probably what the strongest team they can pick really right now, is it?
Nah, I think it's probably maybe Scales for Narotsky is maybe their only one, but I think that's
Oh,
probably
they've
the
got.
strongest Celtic team you can pick out.
I mean, they've got quality there. So I mean, as I say, at the end of the day, it's down to the players and how badly they want it. You know what I mean? That's the way I'll be looking at it. I'm all looking for a big game for Cantwell. I'm really all looking for a
Nah,
massive game. But as I say, mate, so all down to the players. I'm not going to give up predictions or anything like that. I'm not doing
nah.
that part.
I don't think
I,
we've gave a prediction in like 3 seasons or something.
no, no, I'm
So
not. No, I probably won't ever. I'll just sit there and I'll wait to kick.
aye, it's going to
That's
be
it.
as you say. It's the build up through the week. You hope it doesn't just target referees and VAR and penalty calls and should they have got a
I
penalty and
mean,
stuff. The football
yeah.
has to do the talking here, surely. There's going to be moments where the decisions that have to be made. There was a moment where the decision had to be made at Celtic Park and they got it wrong and tried to cover it up, and that was just a disaster in its own right. But aye, it's going to be a big call for anybody who's on VAR and don't even know who the referee is yet. But
Listen, that's
good
the
luck to them.
referee. I mean, that has to be good luck to them. But as I say, if I see Barisic starting, I'm out the window, man. I can't do that. But
Aye.
just, as I say, it's just on the players, man. Just turn up and do the business. That's what we want to do there. And then on to what's it Dundee, innit?
Nah, so just aye. It's obviously a week out to that game. There's going to be a lot of build up throughout the week, but good to kind of get this one kind of done and get the thoughts out there and sort of
I tell you
start
what,
building up now.
as we were talking about before we starting, you won't have a ball 0-0 draw. You know what I mean? It won't be this overhyped or title race kind of game where two teams turn up and they don't really do it. And you're guaranteed in this game. somebody is going to win. You know what I mean? Two teams are going to go for it, and there's going to be a winner. You know what I mean? Unlike that down
No.
there, shocking game yesterday for Man City and Arsenal, man.
Nah, it's just going to be a frantic game, all the more. I think that's why give me this football all day over whatever they're serving up down there. I just think there's so much more on the line here. There's passion involved with it. This is basically Man City v Arsenal for yesterday. It's two teams trying to gain an edge in the title race, and they were happy to play out a nothing each and nobody loses. But I don't
Nah.
think for a second anybody will be happy with that up here. So.
Nah.
Um, Aye, send it on. Obviously, Sunday, 12 o'clock. Aye, the nerves are building, but looking forward to the game. And aye, if you did enjoy the podcast, you could like, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll be back next week covering this game and obviously looking ahead to Dundee. So we'll see you then.